Well, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for the fifth hour of the 58th and final episode of A Song of Tara. And our erstwhile heroes are now sitting around in. They're sitting around in Tara, but have basically just been told that they might want to get themselves back to St. Stephen's Green.
Yeah, something bad has happened there, no doubt. In fact, it's probably going to involve Liffey because we had to abandon Liffey to get all this shit done.
I shall look out what's rolled over the moon bridge again.
So,
Is Winder still around?
yes, she is.
How is she? Obviously, imagine quite well, considering there wasn't a good relationship. But how is she taking the death of her father?
Remarkably calmly. She's giving she's checking up on everyone else who's been involved in the fighting. She's making sure everybody's all right. She's making certain that the wounded are all right insofar as they can be.
That's good.
That's pretty much what is she's doing. She's not even looking at the corpse of Kenneth McAlpin, which is still on the ground out there. Well, she does eventually. After a very long time, she heads down in that direction. If nobody else follows, she just goes down there herself.
I might go with her.
Right.
Unless she specifically doesn't want me to. If she wants to do it alone, then
no, she doesn't mind the company.
Okay.
She goes down there and she crouches next to the corpse, and she looks at it and doesn't look up at Tally or anything. She just looks at the corpse and says, "It had to come to this because you wouldn't listen, because you thought yourself infallible, and because you didn't think you could do anything wrong, even when you were doing wrong on purpose. It had to end this way, and I'm glad it did. And I'm truly glad that it was Athena who got to end you. There's nothing left except I'm not going to let your decrepit followers find your remains and turn your bones into talons and fetishes. There won't be anything left for them to do that with." She looks up at Tally at last. She says, we're going to have to make sure that the body is completely destroyed.
yes. How?
Fire, grindstones, more fire, water, more grindstones, more fire. I don't care. But it has to cease to exist. Someone as old and as vile as him, they're gonna come looking for his bones, and we're going to keep fighting him, at least bits of him, for centuries if we don't.
All right. Well, we're not going to find fire, water, and grindstones around here. We need to move him somewhere where they can't reach him.
I think we need to leave him under the guard of the Fina here until we can arrange for some transportation and then get rid of it. That should be fine. They're not going to come back anytime soon.
No. Besides, this is the 21st century, Winder. Cars and what's the other thing? Planes, trains, and automobiles abound. We can move him
Yes.
quickly and conveniently. So
Such spectacular times in which we live.
I don't know about you. They're looking a little bit brighter now.
Oh, much.
And now, of course,
And to think, if it hadn't been for you, Tally, and your friends, I wouldn't even be here. Thank you.
thank you for reaching out in the first place, for being the one who finally gets the chance to take the name McAlpin and, even as you destroy it, to make it anew.
She smiles
I-
crookedly and she says, I'm not going to. Some things are so broken and so destroyed, they should never be remade. They should always be allowed to exist as a warning to others.
True.
They are irrevocably broken, even though they were maybe at one point they were seen as something good, like my name at one point stood for something good and positive. Nowadays, it has to be forgotten, or if not forgotten, then at least remembered for the evil that it stood for. I cannot be a McAlpin. It doesn't work that way anymore.
Fine.
With him dead,
Very well then.
I'm free to choose something else.
Very well then. Winder, Nexus Stalker, child of choice. I look forward to the future we might forge together.
Let us go back to St. Stephen's Green, shall we? I think we need to, we're not quite done yet today, after all.
I dread to think what they're calling us back for.
Well, we
had
will
to-
see, won't we?
Yes. We had to abandon the trawling of the Liffey, enter a stitch in time to even come here and do this.
The night
No,
is
it's-
not over yet.
True, we might have a chance to get back at it. Come on then.
Let us go. We have time. And,
While they've been talking, Taryn has rounded the others up.
And I've rolled to open the moon bridge again.
yes.
Successfully, I might add. Not as good as the first time, though.
No, but that was epic.
It was Providence.
Epic at the right time. Now it's just mediocre, you know.
hmm
No need
So-
to be flashy now. Just open it.
So you all, those of you who want to go back, obviously, to I'm guessing that's all of you at this point?
I think we might leave Liam.
Okay,
if
Liam is
that's-
staying in Tara.
Yeah, he's kind of the RE. They kind of need him there.
Well,
They can do without him for a night. We need him to help with the Liffey.
Let's
Well,
drag
if-
him with us.
Well, if
He
tradition
needs to go
says,
see Adine. an RE can leave for something like that,
Of course,
Liam will
yeah.
absolutely go.
Oh, he can certainly
Of
go.
course,
and
leave Siobhan there. She's strong.
Yeah.
Siobhan is perfectly willing to hold down the fort, so to say, quite literally in this case. The fight is over for now, and she realizes that with what you guys have been trying to do with the Liffey, that it is incredibly it's incredibly important to finish that. So she nods and again smiles and looks a little bit tired from everything that has happened, but nods and says, "Oh, we will keep everything here together. Start cleaning up. Make sure that it's all taken care of." And,
Right.
Taryn offers them a hug.
I'll be back in a jiff.
She does hug Taryn back, and you could swear that as you do so, you can feel her trembling like she's crying. You can't hear anything, but yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
And
Barton, of course, also gets a hug.
of course. And they look. They all look at you with at the pack and nod, and as you go through the moon bridge, and basically, the last thing one of them says is Mary saying, "Go finish what you must do and come back to us." And then you are rushed back through the moon bridge to stand in the middle of the green. And it's very, very quick. Obviously, it's not a long moon bridge you have to travel past. It's very, very short, all things considered. And you are back in the St. Stephen's Green cairn. You have, as I see, the rest of you see what that means. Taryn and Liam, you guys see the same thing that the others saw, namely piles of corpses of enemies, friends that are badly wounded in some cases, at least lightly wounded in many others. Yeah.
So does Liam spot Adine?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
where he's going then.
She is sitting with. She's sitting with. Let me see who is sitting with her. Fina is sitting with her, for one.
Oh, cool.
And on one side, and Lou is sitting on the other. And
I like that guy.
And they seem like they're basically just chatting and trying to keep her from coming to pieces from nerves.
Aww.
I'm sure that Liam's arrival will help with that someday.
Yes, it does. And it's a matter of her reaching out with her arms in this very demanding motion of, you mister, will get down here and hold me this fucking instant, or I will murderize you.
Behind every king there's a queen.
Sorry, what?
Fenner immediately pushes Liam.
Which doesn't really have to, but yeah, sure.
Taryn mumbles, behind every king there's a queen.
Mm-hmm.
Taryn, go to Fina right now.
I'm on my way,
Good.
Mr. Boss.
What can I say? I miss being beta.
He gets a llama. I don't know what that's called in English.
What's it called?
Is it a stinger?
She punches his shoulder really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she just goes to embrace Fina.
Who embraces her back, yes. And there's a long, very tender moment of getting everyone back together before Winda clears her throat and goes, I'm gonna be really bitchy about this. But you have 2 hours and 15 minutes before the sun comes up.
Taryn looks up, looks at Fina with a triumphant smile and goes, "Look, not a scratch."
Aside, we can get out there, but are there any other threats in the city? Can the rest of the Sept help us? Because the more we get behind that net...
Eric and I will come with you, Winda says. At least. She looks around. Han, or Lou, she calls him Han. She's not on first name terms with him. But Han, she says, you don't look wounded. And she looks towards Håvard as well and says, you don't look like you're injured as well, or either. So you two come along as well. Alright, that's 4 of us, including you. Let's go.
That'll do. So, yes, with... do we all run? Do we all loop us there? Or do we find a means of transportation? Because it's going to take time to get to where we left the net. Where we left the net was quite far away.
Yes,
Green.
it was, but you are able to find transportation to get there, and it's not far to go.
Actually,
from there.
Taryn offers to help with that.
Oh.
If everyone stands close, she can walk the web.
Everybody stands. That is cool. Everybody.
And she does have a friendly weaver spirit who can tell us the way.
Yes, you do.
As long as, having a weaver spirit, it's this much in the green might cause a few wild spirits to raise their...
Well,
yeah,
it's in her
but they
cell
can't
phone.
even see us on the web, so that's
Oh,
okay.
fair enough. Okay, let's web our way over.
So you get to where that is, and you pick up the nets.
Oh, it's still there, thank God.
It's still there. Lou is sitting there on the bridge, dangling his legs. Says, it looks like I was right.
You jammy bastard. All right.
Well, I'm always right, he says, gets up and smiles crookedly.
Are you really Kushulan's dad?
That's what the books say. He winks and walks away across the bridge.
Taryn elbows Lee. You need to say nicely goodbye to your daddy.
Bye, Daddy.
Good boy. Pat, pat.
Well, technically, it's not his dad; it's his ancestor's dad. Let's just troll this net, please.
You go back to trolling.
Yes.
Yes. Let's hope we don't meet any more. Are we going to meet a couple more people on different bridges? Any more banshees we can let you?
No, it's almost like there's no resistance anymore. You just pull the net through this effortlessly. And with almost 20 minutes to spare, you reach the city limits.
Is there some great cataclysm as the two halves of Two Spirited of North and South finally come together somewhere?
No.
This was almost too easy.
Nope.
And so we get to the end of it, we get to it, we've trolled everything we can, we get to the edge. Tyler looks back. Oh, fucking anticlimactic.
Do you hope for a big boom or light or something?
Look, I've had a long fucking day, Finna, of a lot of really serious fucking things happen. You'd think it could...
Finna just slaps the back of Tally's head, changes into lupus and howls.
Maddie
Thank
joins
you!
in.
Thank you! And he joins in.
Yep.
Taryn sighs deeply.
Yeah. You head back into the city?
Yeah.
We'll wrap
Or
the net up and
what
bring
do you
it
want
with
to do? I mean, I'm asking you if you are.
it.
Well,
Well,
Taryn is waiting for the horrible thing that's going to happen because we chose this path instead.
Yeah, I think Maddie is kind of, I don't know, sniffing the waters.
You know, Tally, the most anticlimactic thing about this was you calling it anticlimactic.
I suggest, guys, that we try and call on Liffy and
Yes.
see how cleansed Liffy looks.
Yeah.
Liffy?
And out of the waters rises this gorgeous creature of pure see-through crystal clear water. Yes, you called? I haven't felt this good in thousands of years.
Were Matt with us?
No, he's back in the cairn.
Matt's gonna have a ball seeing you like this.
I'm sure he will, and won't that be a thing to behold in itself?
Yeah.
It's good
I'm
to
happy to see you are still alive.
Oh, I am.
I think not just alive, we're happy to see that you're complete again.
I feel good. I feel incredible. I feel alive. Which is more than I've done for so long. It's strange, really. It feels like I'm remembering what it's like to actually feel, to think that I existed as sludge, and even for a while, thanks to you guys, I existed diminished, but just between two spans of a bridge, or two spans of the river, between two bridges, and and I thought that was living. This is perfect. I feel like me.
Good. You should feel like anyone else.
No, I guess not.
That's very unhealthy.
I know.
What?
Who have you felt by? Who did you feel like for years? While you passed yourself off as someone else.
Finn is very quiet and somewhat pensive.
Taryn hums softly. At some point you get used to pain. And when it starts to wane, it feels weird.
Indeed.
What about...
Oh, what about what?
No, please, you first.
No, I was just... please do let me know.
What of Dublin's north and south?
Oh, well, they've been kissing each other for the last 15 minutes on O'Connell Bridge.
Oh, that's good. I was about to ask if they were shagging.
I don't think they want to do that in front of other spirits, but yeah,
if not,
they seem to be very happy to be back together again.
And
I can see all of Dublin. All its run-down side alleys and beautiful old buildings and people. It is so much life. It's quite remarkable.
Can you tell if Kat woke up?
No. She didn't.
Taryn sighs.
that, I think, was the price we had to pay.
Yeah.
I fucking knew it.
But, well,
She's back at the cairn. Right now. Maybe you should go there.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's more to tell you, but we'll tell you when later.
Of course. I will always be here. You made sure
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
Go back. Your friends and your loved ones are waiting for you.
Well,
Liffy?
Yes?
Yes, thank you. And if anyone starts to poison your waters again, tell us and we will tear the shit out of them.
Oh, I will. You're still my pack.
Yup. We still need to find out what we do with all the fucking poison thingies in the ground around the town.
oh,
But we'll find out.
I think Killian McAlpin will have that covered for now.
I'm sure
Yeah.
he will. I am certain that he will. And if he doesn't,
Not McAlpin, Masterson, sorry.
then you will. Yes, Masterson, but yes.
Yeah.
The rest of you.
Let's go, guys.
So, yes. Please go back to the others. They probably want to hear the good news too.
Taryn waves and starts walking.
To the web!
Yep.
So, you head back to
The cairn.
to the cairn.
Well,
Let's just say
outside
that
the cairn.
Eric and Winda especially got very, very quiet when they got told that
That she didn't wake up.
she didn't wake up.
How does Fenna, how does she besides what she said she fucking knew it, what how does she react to that, to the news that Cat didn't wake up?
She is obviously sad, but she is doing her very best to be strong. But, she saw it coming. She's not happy about it at all.
No.
Right. So you head back to the green. When you
Yep.
get there, you find Francesca has arrived with Cat, or, well, yeah.
Yep.
She's well, Cat is lying there on the she's been placed quite respectfully on some cloth in the on one of the green areas in the middle. Back basically, she's been placed right here, which is incidentally also where you saw her stand the very first night you were in the cairn, where she was dripping with blue energy and summoning Raven. And she's now lying there on the ground. The hammer that she had been wielding is there with her, and everybody there looks numbed, except a few people, of course. Francesca is crying. When Eric sees Cat lying there, he breaks down and sobs. He completely inconsolable. He comes apart at the seams.
Taryn puts her hand on his shoulder in a half hug.
Yeah, Finna can't hold it in either when she sees her.
Then she gets dragged into the hug too.
Tali will go to console Francesca, I think.
Yeah, she just she holds on, grabs a hold of she grabs a hold of Tali and just sobs on his shoulder and goes, I couldn't hold on to her. She just slipped away from me. I kept trying. I spent everything I had And she just... It's like she didn't want to stay. It was like she was just tired and just needed to go.
I know. It's not your fault, Francesca. It's not your fault.
I wasn't strong enough to save her.
It's not that. Of course you were. But she saw. She saw the victory we gave her, and she knew she could move on. The future she wanted was safe. That it was real, that we all made it happen.
Can we do this without her?
We must.
She's the one who had this idea of doing things differently, and now she's dead. And who's going...
So let it live on in us.
Yes, but who's going to lead us now? Joe, you don't want to. And he shakes his head, and he gets up and he says, "No, I don't, and I can't. I am not a leader. I'm not a bad beta, I think, I hope. But I cannot lead you. It is not who I am. We already know who's going to lead us. I don't think there's anything to be ashamed of in that. She wanted things done differently. What could be more different than being led by someone who stepped out of the Silver River after 800 years? I think that is what she would have... Well, no, I know that is what she would have wanted. And Winda just closes her eyes and bows her head and goes, "I'm not ready for this." Eric stands up and says, "I don't care if you are. We'll help you. This is a Get of Fenris sept. It'll stay on our hands over my dead body. We fought hard enough for this. And you have all the qualities we look for in a leader. So, lead us." And he looks specifically to your pack for whether you agree or disagree.
Tally. I think waits actually, because pack order should really go out here. The person who most represents the pack should speak up first.
Well, that would be the
Yes, they all look at Liam first in that case.
Then he says, well, what does he say?
Good question. You should know.
I mean, if you want to, all you need to do is nod. That's all they're looking for is information.
Yes, I think that's what he does.
He just nods.
He just nods. Yeah.
Yep. That and Eric looks relieved at that and mouths thank you towards Liam for that, and then he looks to Taryn.
Taryn smiles and cocks her head. Yeah. Anyone who comes out of the Silver River after that long can be nothing but reformed.
And again, he nods and smiles, and looks happy to hear you say that. And he looks to Madi and Fenna and Tally in turn.
Maddie nods.
Fenna looks at him and says, "You will honor what Cat stood for."
Oh, every day. Every day.
She nods.
I saw you unite this accept in small and myriad and wonderful ways over the months that you've been here. I've seen you speak on behalf of so many, including our pack, in many ways, when you talked of how we shared the experience of walking in Erebus. And tonight, at our darkest hour, I saw you take charge in a way that was electric to behold. You have the qualities. You know when to step in. You work so well with what you have in front of you and with those around you when the time is right. And you do not have to stand alone. A leader does not lead in isolation. They serve by leading and lead by serving and working alongside all those around them. I said to and of Kat that I would fight and die for her. I will fight and die for you now, child of choice.
She nods, looks at everyone else, and nobody protests. Eric says, as far as I'm concerned, that settles it. We owe more to this pack than to any other guru in Ireland, maybe in the world. None of us would be here if it wasn't for them. None of us. We would have been overrun. We would have been killed. For all our strength and for all our ability and for all our prowess, we would have died if it wasn't for them. If they say Winda can lead, and if Winda is willing to lead, then Winda leads. And Winda stands up and nods and says, when she looks at Fenna specifically, and she said, you told me to honor Kat's wishes and her vision for this set. I will do so. I will do so from this moment forward. And until I die, and I will do so first, in my very first action will be, I am not the woman I was when I went into the river. I'm not the woman I was when I came out of the river. I am more and better and bigger than that. I will not carry that tainted name of my old family around anymore. Let it be remembered with shame and shame alone. Let me not muddle the waters and confuse it any further. I am Winda Marcuson.
Sharon just smiled approvingly and nods.
She looks around at everyone else, and she walks into the center of the green out here. And she takes a deep breath, holds it for a moment, and exhales. She holds out her hands to the side, both sides of herself, and she says, in the end, no one is Jarl of this sept without Raven's approval. So I ask it. I will do everything for my family here, because that's what you are. I have only you as my family, and that is easily enough. It should be enough for anyone. And there's a moment of silence, and then there's a sound of a couple of ravens landing in a tree in front of her over here. You can see a couple of ravens landing there. And she smiles and she nods, and then she looks at all of you and says, well then, we have a lot of work ahead of us, don't we?
Tons.
Yeah.
And she looks towards Liam and extends a hand towards him and says, "For all the all the harsh words that have ever been said between your tribe and mine," she says, "over the years, and they have been many, and there will doubtlessly be many more. I don't think you or I can change that alone."
Oh, sorry. Go
But
ahead.
let us at least do what we can. For those of you who don't know, Liam was... Well, I'll let you tell you. I'll let you tell them, if you want. Or I can do it, if you prefer.
No, please.
Well, tonight, at Tara, Liam Kavanagh slew Kenneth McAlpin. It was a sight to see. You would not believe it. It was like watching the heroes of legends. It was magnificent. And he, when all was said and done, well, Liam is the RE of the Fina. And everybody gasps, and it looks for a moment like Aideen might actually pass out from the shock.
More responsibility, damn it!
Liam is the new RE of the Fina, and I will do everything in my power to make sure that the distrust and all the harsh words and all the problems of the past are put behind us. What Kat wanted was for all of us to fight together to win, instead of fighting against each other to stave off defeat by another day. What say you, RE? Allies? Friends?
So Liam takes her hand
Yes.
and basically pulls her in for an embrace,
And she returns it. She returns it.
and that's basically his response.
Yes. That gets a cheer that would wake the dead out of everyone else in the
Please
set.
don't. We don't need to kill zombies too.
No, but it's you know that there's a real sense of relief and hope in that. And when you let go, she smiles and you know, gives you one last squeeze and says, "Thank you. I think we both have to learn on the job."
Yeah.
He just whispers that in your ear, basically.
Yeah, but Liam laughs at this. Not the
No, but just, you know, yeah.
And then he nods as they disengage from the embrace, and he says, "Yeah."
I imagine his thoughts when he say that is, "I'm so fucked."
I'm so fucked. And then she looks at Tally specifically and says, "You must have a story."
I was going to say that I'm going to have to write a poem each for both of you. But since I haven't got the time for that right now, perhaps you would permit me to regale you with what I do have.
Please do.
So, Tally motions if he can stand in the center as well, so everyone can see him and hear Claw clearly. So, stand with the big boys, sort of thing.
Yes.
And he does. So if he does, he gets up there. This one's for all of you, as always. This is the tale of Era's fate. A tide was turned in Raven's eye, and hope from fear was born anew. The Garu vowed their foes would die, and Gaia's sacred light shine true. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. The 5 brave souls who led this turn, and those souls who had been and gone, inspired the Raven's eye to yearn for victory in their new dawn. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. The cunning Deadeye laid a chart to cleanse the soul of great Liffey with moonshine net, a work of art to purify her, mouth to lee. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. But first the fated ones did seek their friendships fresh and allies aged, the Kithane proud, the Bastet sleek, the spirits strong, the dead enraged. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. Finds the words met the Bastet and proved his honour to their Khan, throat splitter earned with toil and sweat, the Kithane's enmity withdrawn. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. Deadeye and Bite the Flame both went and brokered spirit friendship plain. Killer of Banes vowed his consent, the dead would render their foes slain. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. When all their allies were called up, the fated journeyed to avert more taint in Liffey building up, more wormish matter causing hurt. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. They went to where they thought they could destroy the evil at its source, but one they thought they'd killed for good derided them and broke their course. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. The scope and scale of Liffey's spoil enshrouded all the Emerald Isle. Its claws dug deep in Era's soil, its people bent to schemes most vile. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. But still the fated pressed their goal and travelled to their second mark. They would blow up where grave control over Liffey was held most dark. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. As they ensured dreamers were spared the demolition of that site, a Fomor in waiting declared that Bites the Flame's life he would smite. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. Not fire, nor force, nor buildings fall could maim or murder Bites the Flame. The worm's vile trick thus lost its pall, and all its taunting jeers proved lame. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. When retreating from this success, the fated also did abscond with gadgets designed to assess, but from which water's taint was spawned. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. These they held, as first they sought to earn mighty new gifts at length. These gifts were all bartered and bought, and the fated gained new-found strength. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. A dire warning Liffey bestowed, and finds the words, she did imply that to succeed and walk their road, an unknown female had to die. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. At this the fated sought a mind who could incite Era's masses, and at Trinity they did find a kindred soul between classes. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. Killian Masterson, whose life was to good cause dedicated, would show Ireland its source of strife, its people's rage predicated. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. At last the time to act arrived, to trawl the Liffey clear of fault, to bring back all her strength revived, while under constant worm assault. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. Starting at fair Liffey's fur, fated worked with firm resolve, even marred by Ponsonby's mirth, and Magecraft saw his work devolve. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. On they went, through Fomori's threat, and with the Bloodwolf's aid as well, until their kinfolk were beset by Gina Masterson the fell. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. Facing Gina in Phoenix Park, Killer of Banes found truth laid bare. He learned as Gina's death came stark that he was great Kushulan's heir. Thus, Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. On they went, as Arnold's order waylaid them for but short time. They travelled past Phoenix border, and saw wraiths rend banes into slime. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. When their net caught on ancient snare, a wormish jail the fated broke, and ancient banshee cleaved the air, and they were awestruck as she spoke. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, for Era's daughters and sons. While all this passed, terrible gloom befell those souls as they fought on. Those that they loved were sent to doom, and hope for their future seemed gone. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. As dawn approached, the fated met a man named Lou, who offered choice, to follow true, their course still set, or change it, and in change rejoice. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. A stitch in time they all went through, and to ancient Tara did cleave to find their enemy. They flew to Clan MacAlpin's dark fate weave. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. With aid from a Verbena mage and mighty stag stirring address, the fated passed beyond all age to flux, where chaos bars egress. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. Trapped in the flux, the fated spoke to many spirits of the wild, and found their Jarl's soul in a cloak of order, where all else beguiled. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. After conference and full rest, the fated flew to change their fate, to save lives that had been suppressed at risk of loss of equal weight. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. Mafanwy Blevins soon was saved, though broken by the fight was she. Edine Monaghan's life was shaved, but from death's embrace she did flee. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. Bites the flame and Killer of Banes warred at the Fena's sacred ground, and there they made most worthy gains till all their pack each other found. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. Unbroken and unbowed they faced MacAlpin out on Tara's hill, and though he fought in ways debased, the fated earned their greatest kill. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. MacAlpin and Kushulan's heir engaged in jousts of spears divine. Killer of Banes dodged death with flair and severed Ken MacAlpin's spine. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. At last, at Tara's royal stone, Kushulan's heir was named Ari. The seed of a new dawn was sown, and Era's every soul breathed free. Thus Liffey's blessed, fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. What further trials they underwent need not be said, though I was there, for there my talent was best spent with them, my friends without compare. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons. And now that fate the fated gained is all of yours in full to live. Our tale shall be, I hope, maintained by you. It your full care give. Thus Liffey's blessed, the fated ones, fought for Era's daughters and sons.
Oh my heavens.
I can't hold down my push to speak and clap at the same time. Otherwise I would.
That was beautiful. Thank you very, very much. Chris, not just for this iteration, but for all the poems you've made for this pack, as the story has played out. That was a very, very worthy final chapter of that. And, well, as Taliesin finishes his story, the sun is rising over Dublin in a moment. Somebody will be along to unlock the gates and let people into St. Stephen's Green. How you guys are going to clean out the corpses in 3 or 4 minutes until that happens, nobody knows. But somehow,
Hide them in the Umbra.
But somehow I am sure that the Fated and St. Stephen's Green and the Raven's Eye and the Tara Sept will find a way to do so regardless. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we end the story of A Song of Tara. It has been... He is. It is, or has been, my absolute and distinct privilege and pleasure to run this campaign for this group. I thank you all very, very much for having taken part in it. I thank all of you, the listeners, for having followed and listened in and been a part of this journey in your own way. There will be more stories to come at A Song of Tara. In fact, most of this group, will be starting up a new game next week. But we are going to... well, as for this story, it is... I can't think of a better way to end it, to be perfectly honest with you, than on Taliesin's brilliant verse. So, from me here and from the players, thank you all very, very much. And we will see you for more here at A Song of Tara. Please do stay tuned, and goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.